Digital transformation. You hear that phrase everywhere, right? Companies are pouring billions into it, but here's the crazy part. A lot of those big money projects, they fail. So what's the actual secret sauce? What really, truly works? Well, we're about to break down the playbook. Look, in today's world, technology is this giant wave that's completely changing the game. It's creating a total sink or swim environment. If you stand still, you're going to get left behind. So for a lot of companies, getting digital transformation right isn't just about getting an edge, it's literally about survival. Okay, so let's make sure we're on the same page. What even is digital transformation? It's so important to get that it's not just about buying the latest flashy software. It's a deep, strategic change to the very core of how a company works and how it creates value for its customers. So how do we figure out what actually works? Well, a recent study went looking for answers in a really interesting place, inside some of the biggest companies in the world. Specifically, multinational corporations operating out of Malaysia.
And the researchers were smart about it. They went straight to the people in the trenches. Not the CEOs in the corner office, but the managers who are actually on the front lines, the ones responsible for planning and rolling out these massive digital shifts.
And we're not talking about a tiny sample size either. They got detailed responses from nearly 300 managers, 298 to be exact. That gives us some seriously solid data, a real look at what's happening on the ground. Now check this out. The mix of industries here is pretty fascinating. A huge chunk, over 40%, is from electronics, which, makes sense. But you've also got big representation from medical services and the auto industry. It just goes to show you, this is hitting every single corner of the economy. So the study had two main goals. First, to pinpoint the essential ingredients for a successful digital transformation. And second, to answer the million-dollar question. Does all this effort actually pay off? Does it really make the business better in the end? And that brings us to the really good stuff, the core findings. The research boiled everything down to 4 crucial factors. You can think of it as a recipe for success that any organization can follow. So here they are, the big 4. These are the drivers that the data showed made a real, measurable difference. We're going to dive into each one, because if you understand these, you understand the entire playbook. It all starts with value, is guided by leadership, connected by coordination, and sharpened by smarter decisions. First up, business value. This is so critical. The transformations that actually work are laser-focused on results you can see and measure. We're talking about concrete things like saving money, making teams more productive, or developing better products. It is never about getting new tech just for the sake of having new tech. All right, key number 2, digital leadership. This has to come from the very top. It's not enough for leaders to just get the technology. They have to be the visionaries. They have to paint a clear picture of where the company's going, get everyone excited and on board. And this is huge. Make sure their people have the skills and the right attitude to win. This next one is an absolute game changer. Digital transformations almost always fail when they're stuck in one department, like it's just an IT thing. But they succeed when they break down those walls between different teams. The research is clear. Using digital tools to get marketing, IT, and operations all working together smoothly is a massive driver of success. And the final key is all about getting smarter. By using tools like data analytics and AI, companies can turn a tidal wave of information into real actionable insights. This helps managers spot problems earlier, make way more accurate predictions, and just generally improve the speed and quality of their decisions across the board. Okay, so we've got our 4 keys to success, but the study also found something that didn't drive transformation. And frankly, this finding really goes against a lot of the conventional wisdom out there. Yeah, exactly. I mean, we hear it all the time, don't we? To innovate, you have to partner up, work with your suppliers, your customers, heck, even your competitors. It seems like a total no-brainer for digital success, right? Well, prepare yourself for a plot twist. The study found absolutely zero significant connection between this idea of collaborative innovation and successful digital transformation. In these big companies, looking outside for help just wasn't the game changer everyone assumes it is. So what gives? Why the disconnect? Well, the researchers offered a pretty compelling reason. For these big, complex organizations, external partnerships are often just too messy. There's a lot of uncertainty, a high chance for conflict, and all that friction can actually slow transformation down instead of speeding it up. So we know the 4 keys to a successful transformation. Which brings us back to that huge, ultimate question from the start. Is it all worth it? Does it actually improve the business? This is the bottom line question, right? If you focus on these 4 keys and nail your transformation, do you see better results? We're talking higher revenue, bigger market share, better efficiency, the stuff that really matters. And the answer from the data is a resounding yes. The analysis found a direct, positive, and statistically significant link. It's simple. When companies focus on those 4 keys, their business performs better, period. The study's authors put the final verdict right there in black and white. And remember, this isn't just a hopeful theory. It's a conclusion that is backed by hard data from hundreds of managers who are out there making it happen every day. So, what does this all mean for you and your organization? Let's pull everything together into one final, actionable blueprint. Here it is, the winning formula, straight from the research. The playbook is this: focus your energy inward on those 4 key drivers. Know that if you get them right, the evidence is clear that it will improve your performance. And finally, be a little cautious. Don't just assume that external partnerships are some kind of magic bullet. So, the question I want to leave you with is this: is your company focusing its energy on the 4 things that have been shown to actually drive results, or is it getting distracted by the things that don't? When you look at this blueprint, it's a question every single leader needs to be asking.